So guys, we got an indictment. If you guys watch my old videos, seen my Breonna Taylor episode on Black and Educated, I said, is it gonna take 4 months for us to get justice? No, it's gonna take 192 days, a little more. So y'all, welcome to Let's Talk About It. I'm Jay London. I'll be taking care of you guys today. I am not even gonna lie. That was my server speech. I don't know why. Oh man, that means I've been gone for too long. Listen, y'all, before we jump in today, please check out Emily D. Baker. Shout out to you, the badass lawyer. I got in a lot of information from her. The cool thing about her is that she has chats. She gives you your number, her email, and you could literally speak to her. And you know, I'm very grateful that I found her because she really breaks down the law for you, for the normal ear, for someone who doesn't understand.
The dialogue I see in a lot of places, and I want to help bring understanding to the frustration so that if you are frustrated and you understand, it's much easier to say, this needs to change, because now I understand what's actually fucking happening, so this is the thing that needs to change. We can't just be like, shit needs to change.
Right.
We have to dial in what the belief is, right? So I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help make it make sense. The body cameras with Breonna's specifically, that's a great question. It specifically addresses the service of search warrants. I imagine that there are already policies in this department with regards to when body cams are activated with regard to things like traffic stops and stuff like that.
And I'm very grateful. So definitely check out Emily D. Baker. If you guys want a chat that was 10 times way more informative than what I'm gonna give you, she got you, okay? And if you guys do check her out and you guys see my name pop up a couple times, just be like, oh hey, Jay London, oh hey. You know? I'm going to explain this in the most non-biased, I don't want people to be like, well, you're black, so that's why you, no. I'm really gonna try and break it down the best way possible. So, Brett Hankinson will be charged with multiple counts of wanton endangerment. A lot of people don't know what wanton endangerment is. So, wanton endangerment in the first degree. Little backstory, the raid, when this all happened, it was at an apartment complex. For example, Breonna Taylor's door would be on the left. There's another door right next to it, apartment door. Then there's 2 more doors. There's usually one to the side. It's a big apartment complex. I will be posting pictures right here. Person is guilty of wanton endangerment in the first degree when under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to the value of a human life, he wantonly engages in conduct which creates a substantial danger of death or serious physical injury to another person. Okay? So, basically what that means is that, you know, the person just doesn't take any orders, really has no care for human life. So let's say I got a gun and I'm educated on how to use it, who to use it to, direct it towards the enemy, not. But let's say you give the gun to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey, you know, he don't listen to any orders. He's just gonna fire off on out and not really care who he hits. He's worried about just shooting and just it got me really confused. By being a police or getting into that field, you definitely need way more training and way more psychological evaluation background within that person, because it's only 6 months. So I'm just thinking, imagine all the other people who have wanton endangerment cases but it's kept quiet, or how many more people think like Brent. Not saying all cops have wanton feelings. The key word in this endangerment is wantonly. You wantonly want to cause harm. You wantonly don't care about another human being. So that is what a wanton is. Okay, you literally like wantingly, like you want it. You know? I hope that kind of helps you understand a bit. But Brett, okay, this was from the Lexington Herald Leader. They reported this. Prior to coming to Louisville, he worked at the Lexington Police Department from 1999 to 2002. Okay. Upon his resignation, his Lexington supervisor recommended against rehiring him in the future. So, his ex-supervisor from the original police department that he came from, yeah, he said no. He said, you better not rehire him. In the name of Jesus, I say no. Okay. And I quote, due to his actions and violations of standing orders, refusal to accept supervision, and general poor attitudes toward the division of the police and its commanding staff, I would in fact be strongly against the same. This is from McBride. This is his supervisor. His ex-supervisor said that. So he doesn't follow orders. He has no respect for anyone. And everyone. And y'all hired this man? That just shows, and also you gotta think of this way, you gotta think of it a bit like this. I always wondered, like, there's a lot of people who don't want to be cops. A lot of people who don't want to join that field, who don't want to be labeled as an officer or whatever it is. Not only for fear, but of the bad stigma that was probably put behind it, that is put behind it, that are taught within the academy. So the few apples that they got, they're probably a bit rotten compared to the nice crisp apples. So they're going to say F it, and we're going to keep these apples. We're going to keep the rotten apples, because if we get rid of them, then who do we got? Who do we got? Y'all gotta nip it in the bud, okay? Y'all gotta really go into and evaluate every single officer and put your fists down and teach them other things. I'm not even an officer. I can't even really say, but that got me heated. So when the raid was happening, they were supposed to only direct their complete focus into Breonna Taylor's apartment. What had happened is that Mr. Brett kind of went a little crazy and started firing off rounds, but he didn't realize, I don't know, I'm making a guess. I'm hoping he didn't realize or he didn't notice, but there was 3 other apartments. And this is a whole apartment building. They fired over 10 rounds. And one of the officers did attest against him. One of the 2 that are not being charged attested against him. And this is what he said. Jonathan Mattingly, in a recorded police interview, later made public that Hankinson was a little bit worked up. He said he had gotten into an argument with a belligerent man upstairs, Mattingly said, and the sergeant recalled Hankinson extending his gun, saying, "Get back in your apartment, get back in your apartment." So for some reason, Hankinson got in an argument upstairs with a guy who they say was belligerent, and Hankinson got so mad and so unprofessional that he pulled out a gun right to this man's face and said, "Get back." That's a threat. Why? You an officer. You don't do that. So you can feel like the big guy? I'm the big guy. I got the gun. You're the little guy. You're belligerent. Don't be waving that stuff around. But then, Mattingly, okay, same Jonathan, he says, and I quote y'all, and please check out the Courier Journal down below. He says, and I quote, "I remember looking at Brett saying, 'Brett, relax. Brett, just relax. Relax,'" Mattingly said, "because you know while you got to pay attention to him, that's not your focus." He said, you know, while you have to pay attention to this guy, the one that he's waving the gun at, that's not our focus. Our focus is downstairs. That is why he is being indicted with the Wanton. Because he had no fucking care for the other 3 apartments, for the life upstairs that he decided to wave the gun. No care, okay? On top of that, the rounds that were fired in this house, and the Attorney General did say that Breonna was in the hallway, not in her bed. And again, Attorney Generals run through facts, and they have to go through all the facts, all the aerial views, because again, the body cameras They were off. They weren't working. Now with the Breonna's law that's going to be in effect, you have to have body cameras. We're not sure if it's only when you raid. I'm pretty sure it's when you raid, because again, they don't have body cameras in normal police patrolling. But I'm guessing they didn't clarify raid, or we're guessing raid. Next time raids were to occur in Kentucky, you have to turn on your body camera 5 minutes post and 5 minutes prior. And you must keep that footage for up to 5 years. That's going to be the new law once the Breonna's law is in effect. One of the statutes within that law. So that's progressive. The other two officers, what do we think of them? I don't know. I think I'm not a prosecutor right now. But if I was a prosecutor, I feel like I'd do a good job. Just saying. Legally, law-wise, what I think happened today
Some of y'all about to be real mad at me, but it must be said.
they did the correct thing. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to get, oh my God. Subscriber count is boop, 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 boop. Let me explain. So, y'all, by law, when a warrant is issued, it's issued by the court, a magistrate, and it's given to a sheriff, a constable, a police officer, whatever it may be, right? Those police officers have to go with what that warrant says, because the judge or the magistrate in the court, they got all this information, and then they said, okay, I give you right to do a search warrant or whatever of the multiple different warrants that they have, and I do give you the right to go and search. That is passed on to the officers, and the officers have to, so this is why we have to vote. Okay? This is why we have to vote, to change the laws, to really... Why do I have to explain myself? Why do I gotta explain it? Y'all, because we gotta realize the president is the face. There's still cabinets up to 12 people. There's still executive, judicial, and legislative branches that actually run through all the laws. You gotta think of it as, the president is just the puppet, but there's still other people pulling the strings who actually say, yes, this will pass. No, I veto the law. No, this is dumb. I won't pass that. I won't pass this. And it passes through multiple branches, So the president, he can veto laws and so on and so forth, but there's still branches and cabinets that if they say no, it's no. That is why we need to vote, because we gotta really look at our vice presidents, our presidents, the cabinets, Republican Party, Democratic Party, and see if people really do give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So when you vote, don't vote because somebody told you to vote. Vote. Yes, vote for change, but vote and do your research too. If you really do care about certain laws, certain school placements, more body cam footage, where money is going to, mass incarceration. We need to vote. We need to vote. Part of the $12 million settlement, which at first I was like, why the fudge did y'all release this? I wouldn't want to have people know how much we're getting for a settlement. I would just say a settlement was settled instead of people knowing your amount, because there are malicious people out there. That is besides the point. I'm guessing it was just for public satisfaction. But they're gonna have community-related police programs within the community. So I think that's pretty cool, because people who are patrolling certain areas and certain boroughs, so on and so forth, should have a vast knowledge of the community that they're patrolling. It's like you put a white officer in the Bronx, Fordham Road, you know, they're probably gonna be a little confused if they're not from that area, they're not from that community. So I think that's cool. There's gonna be a whole other thing, so if you guys want me to break down the settlement, let me know. You guys suck at communication recently, so. But yeah, I really wanted to come on here and jump on and talk about it. Y'all know how passionate I am about my culture and my Breonna Taylor, okay? I'm getting mad because, you know, I hear Breonna Taylor and it's like I picture so many other names like Elijah McClain, so many other people that we need justice for. Shit. Yeah. So I just wanted to chat a little bit with you guys. Definitely check Emily D. Baker. Check her out down below. She's probably gonna be the first link you see. I know sometimes I'm a little hard to understand, I guess. I'm gonna stop saying that. I'm gonna stop saying that because I feel like that belittles yourself when you say things that somewhat belittle yourself. So I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm pretty sure Emily D. Baker, that badass lawyer, is and can be, and is more understandable and is more concise. So definitely check her out. If you guys see anyone going through a rough time, please tell them everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be alright. You're gonna get through it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye. I want to real quickly add, because I realized I didn't say it in the video. I do believe that the 2 other officers and every other officer that was involved should be fired and taken away any right to ever apply again to become an officer. Go look for another fucking career. Real quick, I forgot to add that. My question is, if this Wanton agreement didn't show up and there was no fact to prove any of this, would justice have been served?